Good morning again. I'm still at the Mount Nelson. I wanted to do two videos today. I'm trying to work out how to hold the camera so I can look straight at it. Because at the moment I'm looking to the side, and I think I need to look at the camera over there and not look at the screen, and then hopefully we'll see what we see. But I'm sitting over here. It's beautiful, as you can see. There's dogs barking, and there's birds tweeting, and there's beauty. And the lady came along and she put nice pink. Can you see? Towels. So, what I want to talk to you about now is I want to talk about money. If I have a rand, then I put some value in this piece of paper that I call a rand. Or if I have a dollar, I put some value in the dollar. Or if I have a euro or a pound or whatever it happens to be. There's a company called Shell, sells petrol and oil and so on. And it's called Shell because a few hundred years ago they found an island somewhere with a rare shell, and they used the shell as a currency. We've used gold as a currency. It's a piece of metal, comes out the ground, but we give it a value. We say it's worth, say, $1,000 or something like that, 15,000 rand for an ounce of a little bit of metal. We value the trees, the bushes, the environment. We value ourselves, our businesses, our friends. We forget about valuing air and water and electricity and food and accommodation and health. In order for money to have value, it needs to be able to be exchanged. I need to be able to give it to you. So when I buy a cup of coffee for 20 rand, or I buy some bananas, or apples, or fruit, or breakfast, or lunch, or supper, or a chair, or whatever it is I'm buying, I'm going to buy a chair, and the chair is going to cost 50 rand, for example. I take 50 rand out of my pocket, and I'll give you the chair, and now I own the chair, and you have my 50 rand. And now you can use the 50 rand either to buy another chair, maybe you can buy two chairs, because you need to make a profit, so you can live as well, and pay for your supper for your family. Or education for your children. So you take my 50 rand and you use it. So I can swap the 50 rand for two 20s and a 10, or I can invest the 50 rand and get interest. So the 50 rand has got to be able to be swapped for another currency. I can swap the 50 rand for $5 perhaps. So the currency, the 50 rand, has got I can exchange that. It's got an exchange value, an exchange rate to other currencies. People trade in these currencies. I can put the 50 rand in the bank, and I can come back in a month's time and I can take the 50 rand out, and it's still worth 50 rand. Maybe it's worth 49 rand because of inflation, or maybe it's worth 51 rand because of deflation. So the purpose of this talk is actually about the blockchain and about BitCoin. Millions of people own BitCoin. I mean, one BitCoin today costs about 125,000 rand. An ounce of gold is about 15,000 rand. So BitCoin is quite a few ounces of gold. Maybe 7 or 8. Maybe 10. In order for Bitcoin to have currency, it's got to have limited quantity. We're at about 15 million mined so far, with about 6 million to go. It becomes more and more difficult to find them and mine them, just like with normal gold. There's more gold in a ton of computers than in a ton of rock today in a mine. So I need to be able to exchange it. So I take 1,000 Rand and I go to an exchange like Luno, L-U-N-O, and I take my 1,000 Rand from my bank account and deposit it in Luno, and then I take the 1,000 Rand and I buy some Bitcoin, and I can buy Bitcoin down to the 8th decimal place. So if I buy 1,000 Rands of Bitcoin and it's 130,000 Rand, then I get 1/13th of a Bitcoin. Is that correct? Say 0.05 approximately. I now own 0.05 of a Bitcoin. Now tomorrow, the first thing I need to do is I need to sell that Bitcoin and get Rands for it again, which I can do. I can sell my Bitcoin. I can use the Bitcoin as a medium of exchange, which means I can go and buy something with my Bitcoin. I want to go and take 100 Rand and take my family out for lunch, and I can, if the lunch place accepts Bitcoin, I can pay for the lunch with Bitcoin. So firstly, I can use exchange rate to buy the Bitcoin and sell the Bitcoin. I can trade with the Bitcoin. The next thing is that the Bitcoin needs to have volume. About 13 billion transactions a day happen with Bitcoin. And next, it needs volatility. It needs to go up and down. In the past year, it went from 10,000 Rand to 300,000 Rand. And then came down to 75,000 Rand, and now it's 125,000 Rand. And I think that's good. It needs to have volatility. So Bitcoin has got the 4 or 5 main things that a currency needs. One is I can buy and sell the Bitcoin with normal other currency. Dollars, rands, euros, whatever. Secondly, I can buy and sell stuff with Bitcoin. I can pay you in Bitcoin. I can get my salary in Bitcoin. I can pay for the Mount Nelson in Bitcoin if they accept Bitcoin. Thirdly, it needs to have someone to trade with. And if there's billions of people trading Bitcoin a day, then I can buy and sell Bitcoin with them. And fourthly, it needs volatility. Just like any currency, like rands, euros, dollars, pounds, shekels. And there's hardly any, there's no bank charges. When I have Luno, when I have 1,000 Rand of Bitcoin sitting in my Luno account, Luno aren't charging me bank charges to hold it. There's no bank charges. This is how PayPal happened. Elon Musk created PayPal because he said, why should there be bank charges? If I want to pay you, why should there be a transaction cost? So I could put money into my PayPal account, 100 Rand or 1,000 Rand, and then I could pay you 100 Rand. All I needed was your email address. And you needed to have a PayPal account. And the PayPal account is free. And for me to transfer 100 Rand from my PayPal account to your PayPal account, there's no transaction cost. It's done in a computer. This was the genius of PayPal. And how did PayPal pay for the expenses and their costs? It wasn't difficult. They invested the money that was being held in their bank account. They didn't pay you interest, but they didn't charge you bank charges. Very clever. So in my opinion, we don't need to be scared of Bitcoin and blockchain. The blockchain is where the contract happens. What happens with a bank is we give a third party control. Because if I want to buy something from you, like the selfie stick or like a jersey or a shirt or something, or trousers or accommodation, I should be able to give you something of value. But I don't trust you and you don't trust me. So we have a third party called a bank, and we trust the bank. There's even a bank once called Trust Bank in South Africa. There's a reason for that. We trust this third party to hold our money. So I can transfer money to you. I can pay you with my credit card, or I can pay you with a check, or I can transfer money into your account. And if I'm at Standard Bank and you're at Standard Bank, and I transfer 1,000 Rand from my account to your account, It shouldn't cost anything, but it does. It costs me maybe 20 or 50 Rand bank charges to transfer this money from my account to your account. And it's in your account instantly if we're at the same bank. So we have a trusted third party in our relationship. It's called the bank. With Bitcoin, we have an exchange. We trust that the exchange will be there tomorrow and that our funds will still be there. But there are lots of exchanges, there's thousands of exchanges. And I think they're saying like there's tens of thousands of cryptocurrencies. And the blockchain is like the bank. The blockchain is the contract mechanism that we store the transaction in. And the transaction gets verified by 3 other people. And when they verify the transaction happens. So this is a little short essay for 10 minutes or 12 minutes about blockchain and about Bitcoin. Bitcoin is a currency. There's another currency. I go fly on British Airways and I collect British Airways miles, or I use my credit card and I get British Airways miles. And I can use the British Airways miles to stay in hotels or buy other tickets. Or I can get Sanlam Reality points for having Sanlam products. And those points are cryptocurrencies. Or I can be a member of Standard Bank and get UCount points. Or I can be a member of a hotel group and get the hotel group's points. Or I can fly Delta Airways or other airlines and get their points. Or I can go to a shop like Woolworths and get a Woolworths card. And every time I shop there, I get points. And all of those points are cryptocurrencies. Because I'm saying that Woolworths is holding my points, and when I want to spend them, I can spend them on something. Or I go to Exclusive Books and I buy books. And then every quarter they give me 30 Rand to go and buy more books. Or I go to Stodels and I get a Stodels card. And all of those hundreds of thousands, millions of cards, they're all cryptocurrencies. They all hold value. They're all exchangeable. I can use my British Airways miles to buy a ticket for my wife. I don't have to buy a ticket for myself. I can give the miles away to a friend for a present. I can even buy more miles directly without having to spend on my credit card and get miles because I've got points on my credit card. So we already have hundreds and thousands or millions of cryptocurrencies, of points sitting on cards, sitting in computer systems. I go for a massage and the massage place has a card where every time I go they stamp the card, and after 10 stamps I get a free massage. So I'm trusting that they will have my card, and every time I go they will stamp my card, and after 10 they'll give me my free massage. And that's another kind of cryptocurrency. So why are we so worried about Bitcoin and Ethereum and Dash and all the other thousands of cryptocurrencies? Yes, some of them are not worth much at the moment, but they might be worth something. We can put value in whatever we want to put value in. I value you, you value me. I value these trees and these shrubs around me because they give me air and they give me peace and they give me environment and they give me shade. And they give fauna and flora and they make life and they make trees work, and there's now a breath of wind and I can feel it and it's wonderful. So think about all the online currencies that you have in your life, and then decide for yourself where you want to invest and where you want to put your money and where you want your future to be. So we need a healthy, happy, lovely, abundant life on an abundant planet. And we need a medium of exchange that doesn't cost the earth. Thank you.